The less they know, the less they can hurt you. Machiavelli's greatest secret weapon was privacy. What if the key to power is not visibility, but invisibility? Machiavelli wasn't just obsessed with power. He studied how it was stolen, defended, and destroyed. And over time, he learned something most people never do. Power doesn't always come from being seen. Sometimes it comes from not being seen, from privacy, from silence, from shadows. By the end of this video, you'll know 7 ruthless ways privacy becomes your shield, your sword, and your path to becoming untouchable. If you crave power, clarity, and control over your own mind, subscribe now. This channel doesn't feed your ego, it sharpens your edge. Conceal your intentions. Machiavelli's first cloak of power. Machiavelli once wrote, "Everyone sees what you appear to be, few experience what you really are." And in that one sentence, he revealed the blueprint for invincibility. You see, people don't destroy you because of what you are. They destroy you because of what they know about you. Your dreams, your plans, your desires, your moves. Once exposed, they become targets. You say you're starting a business, someone's already gossiping. You say you're chasing power, someone's already plotting against you. That's the tragedy of openness. We think people will support us when we share our goals. But in truth, the more they know, the more they aim. Machiavelli's answer: don't reveal, don't explain, don't overshare. Because silence is not ignorance, it's a strategy. When you don't explain your moves, you can't be predicted. When you don't voice your desires, they can't be weaponized against you. When you don't declare war, your enemy doesn't raise shields until it's already too late. Think about it. The most dangerous men in history didn't roar. They whispered, they smiled, they waited, then they struck, and no one saw it coming. You don't need to scream your goals. You don't need to update the world on every step you take. That's not power. That's insecurity wrapped in noise. Let them guess, let them wonder, let them underestimate. Because the more you conceal, the more you control. And control is the currency of kings. Ruthless insight. The man who hides his plan walks through fire untouched. The man who shares it dies before he arrives. Stay silent, watch everything, the eyes that rule the room. In a room full of voices, the silent one is the most feared, not because he says much, but because you don't know what he's thinking. Machiavelli understood this perfectly. He warned rulers, don't react too quickly, don't speak too often, don't reveal what you've seen. Because when you stay silent, you see everything. But when you speak too much, you miss the game unfolding around you. The man who speaks is exposed. The man who listens builds leverage. You've felt it, haven't you? You walk into a meeting, and someone's dominating the conversation, bragging, oversharing. But in the corner, there's one person, quiet, still, watching. And that's the person everyone silently fears, because they don't know what he knows. They don't know what he's planning. Silence is not weakness, it's surveillance. It's a mask that lets you read everyone else's. While others reveal their insecurities, you study patterns. While they brag about their moves, you calculate your timing. While they chase attention, you gather power in the shadows. Machiavelli's wisdom: the more people talk, the more they reveal. The more you listen, the more you gain. Their ambition, their weakness, their fears, their betrayals, it's all there if you shut your mouth and open your eyes. And then, when the time is right, you strike, not with noise, but with total awareness. They never saw it coming, because you never gave them a sound to follow. Ruthless insight. Stay silent long enough, and the world will tell you everything. Then, and only then should you speak. And when you do, every word lands like a sword. Stay silent, watch everything, the eyes that rule the room. In a room full of voices, the silent one is the most feared, not because he says much, but because you don't know what he's thinking. Machiavelli understood this perfectly. He warned rulers, don't react too quickly, don't speak too often, don't reveal what you've seen, because when you stay silent, you see everything. But when you speak too much, you miss the game unfolding around you. The man who speaks is exposed. The man who listens builds leverage. You've felt it, haven't you? You walk into a meeting, and someone's dominating the conversation, bragging, oversharing. But in the corner, there's one person, quiet, still, watching. And that's the person everyone silently fears, because they don't know what he knows. They don't know what he's planning. Silence is not weakness, it's surveillance. It's a mask that lets you read everyone else's. While others reveal their insecurities, you study patterns. While they brag about their moves, you calculate your timing. While they chase attention, you gather power in the shadows. Machiavelli's wisdom: the more people talk, the more they reveal. The more you listen, the more you gain. Their ambition, their weakness, their fears, their betrayals, it's all there if you shut your mouth and open your eyes. And then, when the time is right, you strike, not with noise, but with total awareness. They never saw it coming, because you never gave them a sound to follow. Ruthless insight: stay silent long enough, and the world will tell you everything. Then, and only then, should you speak. And when you do, every word lands like a sword. Silence is a weapon. Most people talk too much. They speak to fill silence, to seek validation, to feel important. But every word you speak is a weapon given away. Every opinion you share, it reveals your values. Every reaction, it shows what provokes you. Words are windows into your mind, and once people see inside, they can manipulate you. Machiavelli knew the powerful man speaks little because silence protects him. When you stay silent, people don't know if you agree or if you're planning something darker. They start projecting their thoughts onto you, and their imagination becomes their prison. Silence isn't weakness, it's armor. It lets others expose themselves, while you remain unreadable. You'll notice this in every high-stakes room. The most dangerous person isn't the loud one. It's the man who says nothing, but listens to everything. He absorbs, he watches, he waits, and when he speaks, everyone listens. Because silence builds tension, and tension commands attention. Ruthless insight: talk less, so when you do speak, it hits like a strike. Let others chatter, expose, and betray themselves with words, while you hide behind silence until it's time to act. Because once you master silence, you become unpredictable, and the unpredictable man is untouchable. Privacy gives you control of information. Information is power, but only when it's controlled. Machiavelli understood this centuries ago, not by hoarding secrets, but by deciding who knows what and when. Because here's the truth: most people are easy to manipulate, not with lies, but with carefully delivered truths. Tell them part of the story, the part that benefits you, and let their mind fill in the blanks. When you control what they know, you control what they think. They'll form opinions based on the version you crafted. They'll act on assumptions you planted, and all the while, you remain the unseen hand pulling the strings. That's how kings stay in power. That's how silent operators build empires, not with brute force, but by mastering perception. And here's where most people fail. They overshare. They explain themselves. They spill their plans to people who haven't earned it. But you won't, because you'll understand that information is a weapon, and weapons must be handled with precision. Ruthless insight. Never give away your full truth. Reveal only what moves your agenda forward. Everything else, keep hidden in the vault. Because once people know everything about you, they can predict you. And once they can predict you, they can control you. But when you guard your information like a sword, you don't just protect yourself, you dominate perception. And in Machiavelli's world, perception is power. Secrecy protects against betrayal. You think your greatest danger is your enemy? You're wrong. It's the person who smiles with you, eats with you, laughs with you, and then one day slips the knife between your ribs. Betrayal never comes from strangers. It comes from those you trusted the most. Machiavelli understood this brutal truth. Even your closest ally can become your most dangerous rival. And if they know everything about you, your strengths, your weaknesses, your fears, your secrets, they don't just walk away, they burn you to the ground. But if you never gave them the full map, if you never let anyone see the whole blueprint, then even if they turn, they'll never hold the tools to destroy you. This is why secrecy isn't paranoia, it's protection. You compartmentalize, you give access in layers, you test loyalty in silence. You never hand over your entire kingdom, not to a lover, not to a partner, not to a friend, because people change, but information doesn't. Ruthless insight. Never give full access to anyone. Keep one room in your mind locked, no matter how close they are. That's where your power survives. Because if betrayal comes, and it always comes, let it come with a whimper, not with your whole empire in their hands. That's how you stay untouchable. The invisible become untouchable. Here's something nobody teaches you. The world only attacks what it can see. The louder you are, the more opinions you share, the more pieces of yourself you give away, the easier you are to target, to criticize, to control. But the man who moves in silence, who speaks little, posts less, and disappears when others shout, that man becomes a ghost in the battlefield of power. And ghosts can't be touched. Machiavelli understood this long before Instagram, tabloids, or digital footprints. He knew that visibility is vulnerability, and the more noise you make, the more surface you give others to hit. But when you operate in quiet precision, when you reveal nothing beyond necessity, when you build in the shadows, you become what the world fears most, an unknown force, untrackable, unpredictable, unbreakable. Ruthless insight. The less trace you leave, the harder you are to strike. And when they try to find you, there's nothing to grab onto, no weakness to expose, no noise to weaponize. That's when you know you're no longer just protected, you're untouchable. Be seen when it serves your purpose. Disappear when it doesn't. Control visibility like a weapon. Because it is. Here's the truth. Most people are addicted to attention. They crave the spotlight. They want to be seen, heard, admired. But what they don't realize is that visibility is a cage. When you're visible, they can judge you. When you're loud, they can predict you. When you're predictable, they can control you. That's the trap. Machiavelli knew real power doesn't move in noise, it moves in shadows. The man who hides his intentions, the one who shows no weakness, who shares just enough to confuse you, that man becomes impossible to target. The hidden insight, the most dangerous man in the room, is not the one speaking the loudest. It's the one sitting silent in the corner, watching, calculating, unreadable. Because you can't fight what you don't understand. You can't kill what you can't see. And that is why privacy isn't just protection, it's power. Now imagine this. You walk into a room, but no one knows what you're thinking. No one knows what you're planning, and no one knows your next move. Your enemies start guessing. Your rivals overthink. Your allies, even they, wonder how deep your silence goes. You smile, but they don't trust it. You speak, but only when it serves you. You vanish and return with power they never saw coming. That's what happens when you stop exposing your mind and start becoming unreadable. Because when they can't figure you out, they can't control you, they can't predict you, they can't touch you. That is how privacy becomes the weapon of the untouchable. Power isn't in what you show, it's in what you never reveal. The moment they know everything, they can control everything. But when they know nothing, they fear everything. So guard your privacy, guard your mind, and you'll guard your throne. Machiavelli didn't just rule with strategy. He ruled with shadows.